One Boy's Day is a time-accurate installation based on a research study that was done in a small town in Kansas in the late 1940s. Researchers went in and they followed a 7-year-old boy through his entire 13-hour day. 8 observers switched off every half hour and recorded everything he did and everything his classmates did and everything the teachers did. What we hope to accomplish with One Boy's Day is to make a time-accurate installation incorporating a digital playground where kids, teachers, and parents can come in, populate the installation, and be part of the project. Within that context, I was amazed to see that the notations of the 8 observers were done in 1-minute increments. And that really spoke to me in terms of the kind of timeline work that I've done in both large media works and installation work. The music of One Boy's Day starts with an electronic score that follows the 13-hour and 33 minutes of the installation. The improvisers for the piece will be musicians placed in the staging areas and interpret not only the score, but the scene around them as it goes. The exciting thing about working with local musicians and artists is that the music locale of any particular place will have a great part of what that installation and what that particular environment ends up looking like. The musicians actually take the place of the original 8 observers, switching off every half an hour. I also anticipate the sound of the environment and the potential cacophony as part of the actual sound score. We start in the very beginning of the boy's day and we go through his entire day in the school. And the mini film sets are diagrams from the original book. So the schools and the students will populate these sets, and the timeline will actually run accurate to the 1-minute increments of the book.
As he swung the bat around, it accidentally hit the metal flagpole. This made a wonderful, hollow, ringing noise, so he proceeded to hit the flagpole again. He went around and around and around the pole, hitting it with the bat as he did so, until he became so dizzy that he fell down, bat and all.
You know, in all my work, I don't tell people how to think. I sort of posit ideas and hope that they'll walk away with something meaningful. Not necessarily my views or what I think is meaningful.
Granite Center has had the pleasure of working with Michael Rouse as one of a rare breed of multidisciplinary artists who celebrate and incorporate elements of popular culture in ways that are very complex and highly nuanced and surprising.
I think with One Boy's Day, there's a real opportunity here for people to reflect not only on what we think of in the past, but how we look at technology, how we look at education, how we look at our kids.
The issues that our world faces, solutions will flow from our youngest generations. And so there's something very beautiful about putting the spotlight on the hearts and minds of the young people we have the privilege of being with on this planet.
We're very interested in how the sort of rural setting of One Boy's Day can be translated to many settings, including urban settings, comparing and contrasting the original study to where we are as a country, where we are as a society now, a global society that is pretty much completely plugged into each other. With each community we take it to around the world, we actually get to sort of grow the global community of what One Boy's Day represents. The real wild card here, and the reason I think to do any kind of artistic project, is to do something that you completely are unfamiliar with. And I think in order for this piece to be successful, there has to be a tremendous outreach into the community, not just from the artists, but also from the local presenters, so that not only are they involved in this piece, but they feel like they have artistic ownership of this piece. One of the things that makes me really excited about this piece and the original study was that people were sort of embarking into the unknown, which of course is what we expect of artists, what we expect of scientists, and embarking into the unknown without necessarily knowing what the outcome is. And I think that's always a scary place to be, but it's also a very brave place to be. And it's kind of the only way we learn and grow is if we're willing to kind of go that direction. Beautiful.